Hola mis queridos, ¿cómo estás mi amor Alicia? Hello my kittens, how are you? My name is Allison and today we are playing Nancy Drew the Silent Spy pre-order edition. Now I just want to mention if at any point I sound bored or dejected at any point in this video, it is because I've recorded this video at least 2 times. Ugh. You guys know I'm always trying to improve the quality of my videos for you all, but each time I always forget what format my editing software can handle. It is so frustrating. Alright, so let me tell you the difference between pre-order edition and the regular game. With Her Interactive, they like to complicate things. They don't actually label their special edition games when it comes to the pre-orders, and you can only get the special edition with the pre-orders. After the game is publicly released, you can no longer get the special editions. It's pretty much impossible. I'm sure you probably could if you know someone inside Her Interactive. I don't think it kind of works that way. That's my opinion though. I honestly don't know if that would work. The pre-order edition, what's on there solely depends if Nancy has a cell phone in the game, because everything is pretty much on the cell phone. There are mini games on the cell phone. You get random text from Ned Nickerson. Well, it kind of depends on which game it is, I suppose. There's also phone charms, and what's really cool is that if there's an awards hall, an awards room, the phone charms achievement is often an image of whatever theme the game is. And since the Silent Spy is in Scotland, our theme is Nessie, the Loch Ness Monster. Here, let me show you. Here's our awards room. And here's our phone charm achievement. Cool! I love it. So, I actually really like it. One other thing that's also in the pre-order edition is sometimes... I'm forgetting something. I know I'm forgetting something. I am going to be doing a little bit of a review here just because the interface of this current game is actually really neat. It's actually been effective since Tomb of the Lost Queen, game number 26. It's actually really nice. And what's really cool, let me pull up the new game. I always forget to mention this in all the Nancy Drew videos. There are 2 profiles that you can choose from, Amateur Sleuth and Master Sleuth. Amateur, you get regular puzzles, hints, detailed task lists. Master, there's no hints whatsoever, basic task list, more challenging puzzles. That's what I like about this. And there are actually 2 new features to the interface that they added in the previous game, Ghost of Thornton Hall, game number 28. And those 2 new features is the fast convo, which I will point out in this current video, as well as a hint system, which refers to this achievement right here, spoiler free. I will actually point out that hint system as well. There is one thing I do want to point out, and I am going to explain more into detail later on, in the outro parts of the video, just because this will be an extensive detail of it. But I just want to warn you all that Nancy Drew the Silent Spy is not the best game to play for anyone at any age, really. This is my opinion, not a paid professional's opinion, really. And I say this because the relationship that's going on between Nancy and her father in this game is not healthy. It is not. And I suppose I should call her father in this video to give you an example of why it's not healthy. Like I said, I will go into more details about it in the outro. I'm trying not to be super emotional about it, just because, I mean, there's so much psychological damaging kind of things that can happen in relationships like this. I don't understand why Her Interactive decided to take this path with the game. They could have done something else. They honestly could have done anything, but they decided to do this. I understand the message they wanted to point out throughout the game, and they could have done that without having to damage her relationship with her father. You'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. But if you've seen the other videos that I've done so far with the Silent Spy, I think you understand slightly with what I'm talking about. One of the things about Nancy Drew the Silent Spy is that there is somewhat of an optional story in it. It's about they call it terrorist organization. I don't like the word terrorist, to be honest, but I think that's just because of what's happened in America's history. I live in America. Oh man, we Americans are so judgmental. Anyway, the organization is called Revenant, and they're trying to get Nancy to do these small little menial tasks so that she can get information on her mother, because her mother used to be a spy, and she's trying to get information with what happened on this last case her mom was doing, and she's trying to actually conclude that case and figure out what's going on and how she can somewhat avenge her mother. One more thing before we get into the video. I'm actually surprised on how calm I am right now. I suppose it's because I'm happy with how I figured things out today. Anywho, I keep forgetting that I need to use that. Anywho, if anything in this video does not look familiar, it is because you have not been keeping up. Please, please, please check the links in the description box below. There's the previous video as well as the playlist. I recommend the playlist because it will have everything that I've done so far with Nancy Drew the Silent Spy. And let's just go ahead and get into the game. And if you're actually wondering about this one here and this one here, it is because I already attempted 2 different recordings for this week, and both just did not go well because I chose different formats, and they just did not work out well with the editing software. Alright, so when in the previous video, we left off with thinking that I could actually play this to unlock something, but yeah, that's bad sound. But I soon realized after I finished the recording that Nancy doesn't know why we're doing this. I got ahead of the game a bit. So, oh, by the way, the hint system. Let's actually go through the task list. This is the hint system I was referring to. You can actually click on these question marks to actually give you a hint as to what to do with certain tasks if you're confused as to what to do next. I would click on one to give you an example, but that would ruin the spoiler-free achievement. Even though I kind of have a feeling I already did ruin the achievement in one of my earlier videos, I'm too lazy to go through the footage to find out if I did or not. If you can do that for me and find out if I did, please comment down below. Let me know. That would be awesome. Anyway, let's go through the task list, find out what I have done so far. We have yet to do that. No. No. Okay, so we have tapped his computer. Okay. And we already looked at the enhancement of it. That's how we got the notes for the bagpipe. Yeah. And we know what to play, but we just need to actually hear the tune, I suppose. So we need to find out what Zoe locked away with her special phrase. And we actually know what the special phrase is. From where I come, there I go. And we actually can listen to Mom's old MP3 player that's in our hotel room. Do we have everything for those 2? Yes, we do. Okay. So let's go ahead and do those. I'm actually kind of excited. Actually, you know what? Let's talk to Alex real quick so that I can show you the fast convo option. So see these 2 little arrows right here? This actually helps out when you just want to do a bit of gaming and just not care about the plot of what's going on. Want to just skim through it.
You don't actually have a sister. I checked.
What are you talking about?
You lied to me. You do not have a sister.
I absolutely do.
Prove it.
How do you expect me to do that?
Show me a picture.
I don't have one, alright?
Really?
Whoever told you that lied.
I think you lied. I caught you stealing and let you get away with some silly sob story.
Nancy.
Nothing about this is silly. Nothing.
What's her name?
Grace,
When was she born?
2 years after me?
What's her favorite food? Where's she live? You want my trust? Then convince me, Alec.
Enough. Leave me alone.
I understand Nancy's pain right here, but she is being a little bit too forward right now. But did you see those 2 yellow arrows that we saw? How it brightened up? That means you can actually click on that and basically fast forward the specific dialogue the person is talking. You can actually skip it, and you can actually click that as many times as you want just to skip the actual conversation, no matter how important the clues are. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn that off because there is a chance of me misclicking. I tend to do that when I'm in a bit of a rush. Right now, though, I'm not in a rush. I mean, I kind of am, but that's just because, well, I'm kind of behind on getting this video up. So we are up in Nancy's room. So when we actually plugged into MP3 player, we found out that something wasn't quite right. We unplugged this and found out that there was a bug, an actual listening bug. And so Nancy was like, oh, that's not good. Also, note to self, maybe I shouldn't talk to myself so much. And that's when the listening bug kind of self-exploded.
Why
So
is a
my
raven
thinking
like a
is
writing
that
desk?
either you
Ask the
set that up
raven.
or
Follow
someone
the
else did.
raven to
So
the
I'm
archives.
wondering who else
If a
is
scientist is
aware
ever in
that we're
danger,
here
someone must tell him to
besides
run.
Revenants.
The vaccinated will arrive while the rest of us are asleep. Hi, Mom. Wish I knew what you were talking about.
Huh. I do. On all three of those, really. That's because I played this game so many times. So, Raven is actually the password to the archives down in the cathedral. We're not going to go down there just yet because we have something to do in Bridget's room, which really confuses me. Why would Bridget have a room at the hotel? We're about to find out. So, remember when we put these spy glasses on and found out this glow-in-the-dark thing here? Or not glow-in-the-dark, but spy ink. Actually, no, it would be invisible ink. Well, guess what? There's a code to this. Remember when we found out that phrase, from where I come, there I go? We actually have to use this. So, some of the words can be translated with these, but the rest we actually have to spell out. So, if memory serves me right, and I'm going to use my cheat book for this because I am not going to write everything down. And I say cheat book because these are all the notes that I have written down so far with all the games that I've played. These are not actual walkthroughs from the game, from the internet. I've written them down from my own experience. Okay, so this first, and then this here, upside down T, upside down V, this here,
There's something
the two
strange
lines,
about the backing on these cards.
the sideways O, or the O with
This is
the
like
line to
a
the
code of
side,
some sort.
the weird
I need to
H
figure this
symbol,
out. There must be
upside down
something around
T.
here to help read this.
This weird 0, and this again. Yeah, we got it! Interesting. I must explain myself a little bit. This I never could understand. I probably could, I'll look into the journal. I'll look at the journal over here to maybe see what Nancy knows about it. But I'll read this aloud later because we're on a bit of a time frame here at being in Bridget's room.
This must be for breaking the code. I bet the rest of the pieces are somewhere in this room.
Yep. Alright, well, now that we know about this tracking notes, we actually have things to find. Yep. And we have 6 more to find. So, let's not dilly-dally. Although the 6th one, the last one I always have trouble finding. There's that one there. You boink. There. Where is it? There it is. There it is. Freaking hitbox on that is weird. Ooh! Text message. I am heading out. And that automatically takes off our spy glasses. What you got? I have this odd feeling like you're doing something dangerous. I'm right, aren't I? Yes, Ned, you are right. So that's the random text that I was talking about. I do know, as far as the pre-order edition, sometimes there's like these random things that you can find. Like in Alibi and Ashes, there's this letter you can find on the back of the picture frame of Ned Nickerson in Nancy's bedroom. There's this letter I think he wrote. It's like a really sweet letter. I don't remember the exact wording of it, but it's really sweet. I never got the chance to get the pre-order of that one, which is really unfortunate. I wish I did. I think something was happening that year and I was just too busy to get the pre-order. I didn't know when the pre-order was, I should say. But I do know this year I am going to get dirt. Alright, so... Wait, before we leave, let's actually look at Nancy's notes about the journal. Mom's Alice references are starting to make sense. I feel like I've fallen through my own personal rabbit hole for Nancy. Alright, so I guess she doesn't really understand this either. So let's just look at what Samantha has written down here. Oh, by the way, if you're not familiar with Samantha Quick, please check out the game The Phantom of Venice. I forgot what number game that is. Anyway, Samantha Quick, we only got to hear her voice. We never really got to see her, but we had to take her persona to do some thieving. I'm not going to go into details why. I will leave that to you. But here we have flights, landed, and transit. In pockets, additional eyes watching her too. Appears to know nothing, is unarmed, visiting station, possibly Barristan convalescent, good at keeping her mouth shut, or maybe she really doesn't know anything. Found bug, signal splitter at the lock, still in good shape. At the lock? Wait, does that mean Samantha knows about our safe house? That's not good. So I'm trying to remember. Okay, that's where it goes. Okay, got it. Okay, so I actually want to make sure I know what... Nope. Doesn't make sense to me. If you can figure it out and explain to me how that makes sense, that'd be awesome. By the way, we now have two words, Parnitha and Raven. We now can use those words in
put a tap on my computer.
Cathedral.
Was it you?
Actually, let's talk to
No.
Ewan real quick.
Alright, if it was, I'll know eventually.
Do you know what's going on with these cards?
51. You're missing one. Find it, and then I'll be able to figure it out. Without the full set of cards, this means nothing.
Goodbye.
See you around.
Oh.
Hi.
Oh my gosh. He does find out who it is. What happens later
Do
on in the
you
game
think I should
makes
work with
complete
Zoe?
sense
I've
now.
asked around. I can't get official confirmation, but my
Oh my
sources
gosh.
here seem to
Okay,
think
so I'm
Zoe
actually gonna
girl
call
might be the real deal. That doesn't mean
her
you should do
dad
everything
real
she
quick.
says.
I know we're at the end of the video, but I want to see...
Do you know anything about the colony operation?
Just what's in the news.
Do you think there's any truth to the idea that someone is trying to start it up again?
I'm almost certain of it.
Why?
When people come looking for Kate's things, they always want to focus on what she was working on last.
Right.
There was this very persistent woman who wanted everything Kate worked on, all of her notes.
Recently?
Yes, I should have just handed them over. Maybe you wouldn't be drawn into all this.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
I have an idea. I have two ideas of who they could be. It was either Zoe or Alex's sister. Alright, so now that we know both words, Raven and Parnitha, we can actually use both of them on this database here. Or database, however you pronounce it. I should say database, because actually it's database. Because I think we're not supposed to use data anymore considering Star Trek. Blah. Actually recently found out about that. Anyway, let's go ahead and save it here and use unlock archives like I did last time. Boink! And let's get out of here. I'm gonna save it again so that I don't make the same mistake as I did earlier in the playthrough. So that is gonna be it for this video. But as far as what I explained at the beginning of the video, well, review time! If you're not familiar, Her Interactive based all of the video games of Nancy Drew on books. And the books are from a series of the same name, Nancy Drew. And this series, Nancy Drew, started in the year 1930. It's been going on that long. Now the book this game is specifically based on is called The Clue of the Whistling Bagpipes. Let me tell you the plot of The Whistling Bagpipes. Nancy and her dad both go to Scotland because Nancy is supposed to inherit this brooch from her great-grandma, but somehow her great-grandma either misplaced it or it was stolen. So throughout the book, she is trying to figure out what happened to that brooch, and at the same time, other things are happening in Scotland. She's like trying to figure out what happened to those as well, which kind of ties into the brooch. And at some point, she actually does have to learn how to play the bagpipes to conclude the whole thing. I'm not going to tell you why, so that I can encourage you to read the book, because the book is really good. There are a couple of situations and scenarios that Nancy was put in that are really scary, and I'm really glad Her Interactive did not put in the video game. Those are the kind of situations that I'm really glad Her Interactive don't use, and it does explain why Silent Spy is completely different from the book. But what I don't like is that they did nothing to keep any similarities. The only thing that are similar from the game and the book is that it's in Scotland, and that she plays a bagpipe, and that her dad is involved in some way. I mean, in the book, her dad supports her entirely in everything she does. Well, almost everything. Just when she's in danger, he doesn't. It's weird. I mean, well, it's not weird. It's, you know, that parent-child relationship. It's normal. But, you know, the kind of relationship that's going on in this particular video game, it's not healthy. It's not helpful. It's not advisable. And it's the same thing with Captive Curse. The Captive Curse is actually based on The Captive Witness. Now, I gotta admit, The Captive Witness is actually one of my favorite books, and I'm saying that because that is actually a book that is something close to what I would write. I'm not saying it because of what the bad things happened. The bad things that happen are illegal and should not be done realistically, even though it does realistically happen. I'm just saying, I'm glad Her Interactive didn't get those in the game. The only thing Her Interactive put similarities of with Captive Curse and Captive Witness was the location. That's the only thing that got in similarities. What the heck? If you're gonna have a game based on a book, have more similarities than just location and two other things. It makes no sense. Of course, I'm just gonna remind you, this is my opinion. This is my review. Please don't take it personal. Please don't take offense to this. I don't want anything bad to come out of this review. I'm just trying to speak my mind here. As far as like gaming, I'm so used to playing this game, and we are about to experience some puzzles that you're probably not used to. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. And you will actually get to see how the bagpipe is used in this video game, which I'm not a big fan of. So anyway, I'm just now realizing the time. We gotta get going. I gotta get going. I love you all so much, my beautiful kittens and viewers. I hope I helped you at least a little bit in this video. If not, I'm not doing my job. So, oopsies. I will talk to you all in the next video, which will be Nitty Drew, the Silent Spy. Heck yeah! And on that note, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If so, smash that like button like a kitten would. And if you're just now tuning into this channel, go ahead and click that ugly red subscribe button next to that beautiful gray, as well as the bell icon right next to it. That'll notify you of all the videos that I do, which are on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Sundays, rarely Fridays. And I hope you all have a great morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. I am Sweet Rascally Rabbit, Fun World, saying goodbye. Stay awesome and stay on YouTube! Dunham.